Hey everybody, Medusha here today. Today I wanted to speak on one thing I remember quite well when it came out. It's one of the most gruesome crimes that to this day is unsolved. I'm speaking of the Wonderland murders. The police believe the right ones were charged but not convicted. Just as the police have to go by rules, but criminals don't. This all began in 1980. Porn star John Holmes, aka Johnny Waddy, was on the skids. Separated from his wife, living with a teenage girlfriend addicted to cocaine. He had two drug connections. One was a nightclub owner named Eddie Nash. The other was a group that lived in a house on Wonderland Drive. The Wonderland gang consisted of Ron Linus, his wife Susan, Billy Deverell, his girlfriend Pam Joy, David Lynn, his girlfriend Barbara Richardson, and another guy by the name of McCourts, who was kind of like the gopher driver, and he didn't live with them. Nash told Holmes if he wanted drugs, it will cost him. When Holmes was short on money, he would either steal or he'd pimp out his girlfriend to anybody. Holmes sponged off the Wonderland gang until they had enough of it, and they said, "You owe us." By this time, it is June of '81. Holmes came up with a solution: rob Eddie Nash. He drew out a diagram of Nash's house. He told him where he kept stashes of the items, in particular, a safe under his bed. They came up with a plan and put it into action. Holmes goes over to Nash's, buys some coke, walks to the kitchen, pries the back door open. Holmes goes back to the house on Wonderland, and the guys are gearing up, ready to go. Holmes then tells them, "Hey, they're good to go. Go get it." The group goes over there. They get their hands on Nash, take him up to the bedroom, open up the safe, and they grab everything else that Holmes had mentioned. As this is taking place, Nash thinks, who could be so brazen and stupid to do this? He thinks of one person, Holmes. The group leaves, goes back to the house in Wonderland. Cash, drugs, jewelry, total 1 million. Today that'd be 3 to 4. Holmes sees a ring in the jewelry and asks to have it. Then the gang takes the jewelry they have to a fence, they sell it, then they take that cash plus the cash on hand and they divide it up. The group then says no deals in the house. No one comes into the house except inner circle, meaning the 6 people who live there, McCourt, Holmes, his girlfriend. David Lynn said he had to take off for a few days. Now, instead of 6, there's now 5 people there. Eddie Nash sends out a couple of his henchmen to find Holmes. They catch up with him at a convenience store. Holmes arrives at Nash's. Nash sees the ring and asks, "Where'd he get it?" The henchmen tie Holmes up to a chair and beat the crap out of him until he says, "Who did the robbery?" Nash then tells him, well, Holmes is going to go to the house along with this henchman, and if Holmes doesn't, Nash will hunt down the family members of Holmes, kill them, and then kill Holmes himself. So they arrive at the house. Each henchman is carrying either metal pipes or claw hammers. Holmes knocks on the door. Billy Deverell opens it up, and all hell breaks loose. One guy is hitting Deverell, headshots only. Deverell is trying to get back to the bedroom where his girlfriend is at, being hit along the way, leaving a blood trail. Another guy goes over to where Barbara Richardson is at. She's asleep on the couch in the living room. Another guy goes up to the bedroom where Pam Joy is, Deverell's girlfriend, and and begins on her. Then two other guys go up to the bedroom on the second floor where Ron and Susan Linus is at. And again, headshots only. During this time, one henchman has a gun to Holmes's head, forcing him to watch. Then, as Ron Linus is being hit, one guy stops and says, "Hey, Holmes, get up here." Hands him the pipe and says, "Finish him off." Holmes's handprint is on the headboard and the wall, right where Ron Linus was at. Then, after they feel that all five are dead, they tear the place up looking for the items that was stolen from Nash, as well as anything else of value. This all takes about an hour, start to finish. They leave, not knowing the doors were open. Holmes then goes over to the house of his estranged wife, who is a nurse, and she sees that he is covered in blood. He tells her that he was in a wreck. She puts him in the tub, cleans him up, realizing the blood wasn't his, and there's no wound. And he admits to her what happened. He leaves, goes to the apartment that he has with his girlfriend. A few hours later, a crew working on the house next to the Wonderland house hear a woman in pain, Susan Linus. They go over there, the front door still open. They see the place, a total mess, and they're like, "Whoa, look at this, blood is everywhere." So they call the cops. Then the ambulance and coroner arrives. Susan Linus is taken to the hospital. The cops process the scene. This was one of the first times that video cameras were used in part of the investigation. Yes, the video is on the internet and you can check it out. Then the cops asked the neighbors if they heard anything, and they responded with, there was always something taking place there, so it was nothing new, and they knew that it was a drug house. Lind and McCourt saw it on the news. They called the cops. They admitted to the robbery, but not the murders, and both had alibis. Holmes and Nash were arrested for the murders. Lind and McCourt testified at both trials. Holmes was found not guilty. Nash's case ended in a hung jury. Holmes goes back to making porn, eventually gay porn. Holmes then gets AIDS and dies of it first part of '88. Cops bust Nash on other charges. He cuts a deal, does 3 years in jail. Nash later dies in 2013. Holmes' girlfriend moves to the Pacific Northwest, gets married, has a child, writes a book about her experience with Holmes, and is a consultant on the movie Wonderland. '97, the movie Boogie Nights comes out, and it is inspired by the story of John Holmes. Mid-'90s, David Lind dies of a drug overdose. Early 2000, McCourt dies. 2003, the movie Wonderland was released. Holmes' ex-wife retires from nursing and presently lives in Los Angeles. Susan Linus' whereabouts is unknown, believed to be in witness protection. One of the most vicious unsolved crimes that, not just in the state of California, but in America. Medusa out.